Welcome, everyone. Welcome to purplelunarose Tarot and Astrology. Tonight, we're going to be doing a Divine Feminine Celtic Cross reading where we're going to be looking at some twin flame messages. So, I did this other half of this reading, or the Divine Masculine half, on Tuesday night. So, if you guys missed that, you can go over and find it on my YouTube channel under the live tab. Guys, it is solstice day. We're in solstice time. It's summer solstice for those of you in the northern hemisphere. So happy solstice. We also have that full moon coming, bearing down upon us in just a couple of days. So the cosmic influences are high, right? All right, guys, let's go ahead and jump in and get started. And I may offer some free readings at the end, guys, some free messages. I'm actually going to pull from our message cards for the Celtic Cross reading to see what Divine Feminine wants to say. These could be messages. If I'm talking to Divine Feminine, this could be something that you want to say, but for some reason you haven't been able to. This could be something that you actually said previously, so it could give you confirmation that you made the right choice or said the right things. It can also be some higher self messages that come out in this Celtic Cross reading tonight for Divine Feminine. I've pulled out the Unicorn Tarot to clarify, and then I've also pulled out the Divine Feminine Oracle, and that's what we're going to do some guidance with at the very end. So, when we do readings at the end, you can get a message from your person and a Divine Feminine Oracle. The Divine Feminine Oracle was actually gifted to me by Sandra, who's here tonight. Hi, Sandra. And so they have affirmations on them. And I feel like affirmations at this time are going to be really important for Divine Feminine. I mean, for Divine Masculine as well, but it's definitely more for the Divine Feminine energy tonight. Lee Spice, hello. Guys, don't forget we are multi-streaming. So we're on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch all at the same time. All right, remember Celtic Cross, we're going to start Heart of the Matter. So Divine Feminine, this is what you want to say most. I see you in my dreams comes out. If the relationship feels off, it most likely is off. The word off is what's sticking out to me. It's almost like a light switch, and something Divine Feminine has just turned something off. I see you in my dreams, pretty direct. I feel like we've all been talking about 5D connections for those of us that are on this very specific type of spiritual awakening journey. Guys, please remember everyone has a masculine energy and a feminine energy within themselves, every single person, right? And your masculine energy is what is your protect and provide energy. It's what makes you lock doors, I always say. And your feminine energy is your self-care, nurturing, healing energy, right? And so we have both of these energies. I always say your feminine energy is what makes you wash your hair. So when we're having spiritual awakening, your goal is to balance those two energies. Of course, if you're here following PLR for any amount of time, it's because you're on a specific type of spiritual awakening journey. And this is very much where most likely you have counterpart energy, or what people mean by that is you had someone awaken you in this lifetime, someone in the 3D, someone in your physical reality, right? All right, so let's see what's crossing Divine Feminine. Miss L gifted me these cards. I noticed Miss L was the first one in. Left a little comment for us there. All right, so here's what's crossing. I find it interesting too. We're getting 2 and 2. So you guys could be seeing a lot of 2s or 4s could be significant. I know for me, the 4s, 444 has been pretty significant. All right, so what's crossing says, am I compromising my happiness to make sure the other person is happy? Understand this. They can't make you happy. You make yourself happy. Okay, so that's what's crossing. So I feel like what's happened here is Divine Feminine has most likely pulled their energy back. You're most likely putting your energy into your own experiences, right? Your own 3D experiences. You could be creating something that has to do with your purpose. All of these things could be happening, but it's like at your choice. You're the one that's chose to do this. I don't feel runner energy here. I don't feel like anybody's running from their purpose or running from their awakening. We're just prioritizing is what's happening here. And I think we're prioritizing by putting ourselves first. And I know that sounds super selfish and super weird, but when you have your spiritual awakening, that's one of the first things you learn is that you have to take care of you first, right? Like when you're on the airplane and they tell you you have to put the mask on first, you have to be able to breathe before you can help someone else breathe. So I feel like Divine Feminine, you've just put your priorities in place and you are the top priority. That could be difficult for us because it's not something we're used to, right? Most of us that are having this specific type of spiritual awakening journey, we were people pleasers, right? We were the yes man type of person. Like people came to you because they knew that if they asked you to do something, you would do it regardless of how inconvenient it was for you, right? And so as we have this awakening, we have to stop doing all of that. And we have to put all of that energy into ourselves. And for some, it could make you feel like you're being really selfish. I know I was definitely a people pleaser, but I will say that I have learned how to put myself first. And I feel like once I got it, it was super easy. But that's most likely going to be a lot of that Aries energy that's in my birth chart, right? I have Mars in Aries. I have my Sun in Aries. Mercury's in Aries. So I have a lot of Aries energy. And Aries energy is the first house. It's the house of self. So I think because I have all of that fire Aries energy, it was kind of easy for me once I learned that I've been people pleasing and I've been giving all my energy and all my everything to everybody else. It's like once I learned that I needed to fill my cup first, I needed to take care of me first, then it was pretty easy for me to do that. Honey vanilla chai tonight. Delicious and super calming. All right. So let's look at Divine Feminine's highest expectation on the matter. So I do sense a separation. I don't feel like it's a forced separation. Like I said earlier, I'm not feeling like runner chaser energy. This is very much Divine Feminine putting your priorities in line. So the highest expectation says breathe slowly and regulate your nervous system during essential times of communication. That's super interesting because that something like that kind of happened to me today. Have you guys ever had to really enforce a boundary and you were kind of scared to do it because you almost expected conflict, like you almost expected something to come back at you? So let me tell you just an example of what happened today. So I work at the water park. Remember, guys, or it's a campground. I don't know why I said water park, but I get to work at the water park in this campground. I guess I should have said it that way. It's the funnest part in the whole park. But anyway, I get to work there and we have to wear these bands, right? Like you have to wear these bands that say you're staying at the park or you've paid for your ticket and you're allowed to come in and go to our water park, right? And I noticed today that this group of people came in and they had a different colored band. And so I was like, well, that's weird, right? And these people had been in there before and they told me they were seasonal. So like, in other words, they stay there all season long. And, you know, a lot of times they get like special treatment, extra things, right? So I thought maybe they got orange bands. Who knows, right? And so I get them all ready and I shoot my boss a text and I'm like, hey, do we have orange bands that I don't know about? But I went ahead and got their life jackets and I went ahead and sent them on, right? This lady had been there a couple of different times and she was like upset about like how long the process was. You know, you have to fill out forms, you have to get life jackets. It's like a whole thing, right? So I was just trying to get her out there and accommodate her needs, right? And then my boss texts me and she's like, hey, Rosa, we don't have orange bands. And I was like, what? So, and she's like, yeah, I think somebody, maybe trying to pull one over on you. So I was like, oh my gosh, I have to go throw them out. And that's, if anybody needs to be thrown out, you tend to come get me, right? And so I was like, okay, I'm on it. So I get in my car and, I Captain Wolf asked my way down to the dock and I go down there and I'm like, excuse me, ma'am, but we don't have orange bands. But I could tell that like this lady had already been confrontational with me before, right? So like as I'm walking down there, I'm kind of getting my little spiel together of what I'm gonna say. And I have this boundary I have to enforce, right? Like there's a rule and you've broken the rule and now I'm gonna have to throw your butt out, right? And so I call him over and I thought to myself, like, I could be like really mean. She's been rude to me a couple of times. I'd be like, get out, right? Or I could just be like, ma'am, I need you to come over here and talk to me so I can figure something out, which is the route that I ended up going. And thank goodness I did, because let me tell you, kind of found out it was okay that she was there. Was she supposed to have the orange bands? No. But it was okay that she was there. But anyway, when I went to enforce the boundary, I was just very direct and very firm in what I said. So there was and I was very factual. Like, these are the facts, right? Like, you can't change the facts. This is the way it is. Take it or leave it type of situation. And that's kind of how I spoke. I just said it very firmly and very matter of fact. I think that's what I'm trying to say. And it just very much didn't give her any leeway to come back at me. There was nothing she could have said. She just would have looked foolish at that point, right? So I feel like there's a conversation that may need to be had where you need to enforce a boundary for divine feminine. And I feel like you could be nervous or worried about confrontation. Is this going to cause an issue? And I feel like the message with it coming out as highest expectation, definitely could be some higher self message here. So it means like the higher self could be giving you this message for divine feminine that says, breathe slowly, regulate your nervous system during essential times of communication. In other words, make sure to breathe, make sure to stay calm, understand that like it's not the end of the world. I feel like I told somebody else that earlier today too, right? I think when we're in the moment of something, we see it as much bigger than it actually is, right? All right, next I'm going to look at energy that's coming into being that we don't know yet for divine feminine. Let me know, guys, how's the sound? Is the sound a little better today? I did go and dig out the mic and I did get it plugged up. I noticed the sound in the divine masculine reading was a little rough. Ooh, highest expectations. We got 2 karmic cards coming out. Awesome. Thank you, Lee Spice. All right. My intuition is yelling at me, but I always seem to ignore it. I roll my eyes at this person more than I blink. That means something, right? Energy that's coming into being. I feel like there's something that your intuition is telling you. Most likely it's this like head-to-head confrontation, this conversation type of energy. I feel like you could be trying to ignore it, divine feminine, especially if you feel like it's going to cause a problem or it's going to cause some sort of angry words to be said. Especially if you feel like someone may roll their eyes at you. But I think the roll the eyes card is more about how upset you are about a situation. Maybe that the conversation has to happen in the first place. Thank you, Michelle. All right, let's look at energy that is past. Energy that is past for divine feminine. Free yourself from one-upping. There is no scoreboard. Definitely have freed ourselves, right? There is no scoreboard thing is probably going to be important. I do feel that, again, if you're on this specific type of awakening journey, I do feel that the divine feminine energy seems to be, and I'm not just like the only one that says this. You can go find other twin readers and study other twins. And it does seem like the divine feminine is always ahead. It does seem like we're always having to do something first or experience something first or learn something first, right? And then it seems like the divine masculine has to do it shortly after. And I guess not everyone's is shortly after. Some people, there could be like a large gap in between when one awakens and the other one awakens. But I do get this energy that so much talking. That there's no scoreboard, there's no points, there's no winner type of situation. We no longer want to be right about something. Or it's like we know we're right, so it doesn't matter type of situation. And like that's the energy that is being left behind. I'm being told to mention the scoreboard. So what I'm seeing with that, the energy that I'm picking up with that is, you know how when you're on a team, the teams work together for a common goal, right? I'm fixing to do water gun activities this weekend, and I have to come up with some water gun games for the kids to play. And I came up with a water gun, a relay race, right? Where you like line 4 of them up. And I'm going to give them, I forget what it is, guys, but like a cup of water or something. And they have to like run around a cone and come back and pass it to the next person, right? And you have to work together to get it done, is what I'm trying to say. And when you're in a relationship, it's very much like a team type of situation. And you have to work together to get something done. In my karmic relationship, I felt like I wasn't, like I didn't have a partner. I didn't have like someone on my team per se, right? And I think that that's what this whole journey has taught us. Because the twin is, or the counterpart energy, is always on the team, right? And I don't know really how to say that because nobody's perfect, right? And you're always going to have, people that do dumb shit. But in the most part, it's not toxic. It's not karmic. A lot of times there's so much confusion about like who's who. Like people will think that they'll be in a karmic relationship and they'll think that's a twin. And they're like, I'm having a twin awakening. No, you're having an awakening, but that's not your twin. So Miss L gave me these cards, and the red cards are like runner chaser cards, and the purple cards are karmic energy cards. And then the like beige colored cards are like twin flamed enlightened higher self type of cards, right? So there's 3 different types of relationships you can have. You can have a karmic relationship where it's volatile, it's ugly, it's nasty. Nobody's on the same team, right? You're just one-upping each other, scoreboard type of thing. They're challenging, hard lessons that you have to learn in life. And people will say, I keep dating the same person and they act the same way. Well, it's the same monster, different face. You guys have heard that before? Okay, so you have to keep dating that same monster, different face until you learn the karmic lesson. And then like once you learn that karmic lesson, then it's like, oh, that's done. And then you won't allow anybody to do that same thing to you again. You'll stop it every single time because you've learned the lesson, right? Those are karmic relationships. You have soulmate relationships. Those are super awesome. Soulmate relationships are where 2 people equally put in equal effort. They work together. They heal together. They support and encourage, right, one another. Constantly giving to each other, right? Those are soulmate relationships, and they don't have to be love relationships, but the best love relationships are soulmate relationships, right? And then there's twins, and not everybody's on a twin journey. Like you could be having an awakening and it not be this kind of awakening, right? And twins are not like this fantasy fairy tale that you hear everybody telling you about on YouTube and all these places. It's actually a spiritual awakening where someone comes in and awakens you. Like in other words, it's like a tower moment where like they destruct your foundation. Like you built this foundation, you have this life, and you're like, this is my life. I'm Rosa. I'm married, I have 3 kids, and this is what I do every day, right? And then they come along and suddenly you're not Rosa, you're not at that job, you're not married to that person, your kids have now all moved out and went off to college and married and whatever not. And your life is completely freaking different than it was before, right? Before there was no God and how you pray every single waking second of your life, right? Um, so that's a spiritual awakening, and that's like where someone came in and awakened you. So not everyone is a twin, but that is a type of awakening and a third type of relationship. So a lot of times people watch these readings when they have karmic relationships, and they want like Joe Blow that, drinks too much and pushes them around a little from time to time and takes from them all the time to be their twin. And it's not their twin, right? Like that's not a twin. A twin is going to be someone that there is no scoreboard because you're on the same team. The goal is that you are here to heal. You're here to find your own purpose and your own happiness, right? All right, so this is the first half of the Celtic Cross. So I'm going to stop here and I'm going to clarify a little bit with the Unicorn Tarot. We always drop a few viewers whenever I explain what a twin flame journey really is. All right, so I see you in my dreams, I think is a confirmation. For those of you that are like, is this reading for me? But I think the real issue is they're not any longer willing to compromise your happiness for anything else or anyone else. And I think you may feel weird about that. I think you may struggle to not feel selfish. I think you could be so used to people pleasing and making other people happy that you struggle to realize that it's okay to make yourself happy. King of Pentacles comes out. King of Pentacles is a card that talks about, it's masculine energy. It's earth sign energy, Taurus, Virgo, Capricorn. But it's a card that talks about putting someone on a pedestal. And a lot of times when we're on these twin journeys, the divine feminine does tend to put the divine masculine on a pedestal. But it's also about like taking responsibility. That's another thing that this spiritual awakening journey does, is it teaches you to be accountable. It teaches you that no one is to blame for your life and where it is or how it's turned out except for you. Like literally no one. And a lot of people hear that and they're like, well, this really horrible thing happened to me and it changed my life forever. And I'm never the same, whatever this horrible, tragic, brutal, I mean, it could be anything. Anything. I don't even want to give examples. Whatever the horrible, brutal, tragic thing that happened to you, are you ready? I'm going to step on some toes. It's your responsibility to heal yourself. God put you here and is not going to give you something that you can't handle. So it's your job to heal from whatever ugly thing happened to you, right? So you have to take responsibility. You have to step up to the plate, that type of energy. I know it's rough over here in Twin Flame world. All right. The Hanged Man comes out. Pisces energy. 3 of Pentacles comes out. 3 of Pentacles is teamwork, partnership. And there's a lot of teamwork coming up here. There's a lot of like coming together, not against one another type of energy coming here. And the Hanged Man in the middle. So the Hanged Man came out for Divine Masculine reading we did on Tuesday night. Again, if you guys missed that, you can find it over on my YouTube channel. But the Hanged Man talks about like being stuck in your head, not able to make a decision about something. Three of Pentacles could be third party, so there could be like other people involved. But the Hanged Man, I talked about how it's this energy where the Hanged Man, the reason he's hanging upside down is because he's trying to like gather things, like trying to attain things, and he can't figure out, well, how come I can't capture beauty? How come I can't capture loyalty? How come I can't capture faithfulness? How come I can't capture, you know what I mean? And he's like, he's trying to catch them. There's this one, I want to say, I can't remember which one it is, but one of the tarot sets, he's catching butterflies. And so it's like, I want to say it's Tarot of a Sweet Twilight. But it's like he's trying to catch these things in his net. And it's like, you can't catch them. The point is to become them, right? Like the point is to become faithfulness. The point is to become beauty. The point is to become loyalty, right? All right, so I'm seeing a lot of threes. Three of Cups comes out for, understand this, they can't make you happy. You have to make yourself happy. Four of Wands comes out and Queen of Cups comes out. Three of Cups, again, I'm getting a lot of third party. And Four of Wands is going to be 11 firm foundation. It's the Union card, but I think this is more about the foundation that you're building. And then Queen of Cups is here, and Queen of Cups is about unconditional love. I'm not sure if Divine Feminine is struggling with third party. I don't think you are, especially if you have cut energies out and called your power back, and you're focused on yourself. So I think Divine Feminine could be upset about third parties when it comes to Divine Masculine. And there's definitely this energy or this message here where it's like, the third party is just being completely cut out. Queen of Cups is unconditional love, but it's also the card that says, I choose me. It's the card that says, I choose me because I know that I have all of these energies that I'm supposed to send love to, unconditional love at that. And in order for me to do that, I have to replenish my cup with love, right? So I feel like there's this energy here where it's like completely cutting out any type of third party, any type of anything that doesn't focus on Divine Feminine's new foundation. All right, so let's look at the highest expectation. I feel like you feel, Divine Feminine, like you're going to be able to express this energy clearly. I think that you may be nervous. You have Knight of Swords, so courageous enough to deliver a message, right? About freedom, liberation. The Fool card coming out. It's that self card, right? The Fool card is like the beginning of this whole tarot journey. But it's definitely like some Aries energy, like the self, the first house type of energy. So again, it's like taking a leap of faith, but putting your energy, the leap of faith you're taking is in yourself. You've always taken the leap of faith for everyone else. It's like now it's for you. 10 of Cups is here because you're looking to find emotional contentment. I love this reading. 10 of Cups is happy home, happy family. It's like that's your new goal now at all costs. All right, let's look at energy that's coming into being. We have the Magician. We have 10 of Pentacles. We have 3 of Swords. So I'm definitely picking up some masculine energy. The Magician is going to be Mercury. It's Virgo, but it's could be some Gemini energy there. 10 of Pentacles is going to be someone who is focused on material world, material things. So here's the thing. If Divine Masculine was out there, I would say that you're so focused on money, wealth, prestige, what's the word I'm looking for? Like being seen a certain way, that I feel like it has completely caused the feminine energy to pull back and put all of their eggs into the self basket. All right, let's look at free yourself from one epping. There is no scoreboard. I thought I seen one flip over. All right, justice comes out, Libra energy. It did try to come out a little sideways, a little cockeyed, right? Justice card says that a great injustice has been done. Page of Pentacles is here. Page of Pentacles is about a new offer, starting over. Queen of Swords is here, and Queen of Swords is like, I always say it's the B word, but it's someone who, again, speaks very firmly, very direct. These are the facts. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it, right? So I do feel, wouldn't say there's an injustice. If there was an injustice, the reason that you have, that is going to be the reason that you've called your powers back. It is going to be the reason that you no longer have this offer, or you're no longer giving this offer, and most likely why you're very direct with your words in your communication. Five of Cups is on the bottom. I feel like this is a lot harder for some of you maybe than it is for me. Again, I feel like my Aries energy kind of helps me out. I would say if you're struggling to put all of your energy into you and your journey and not focus on counterpart energy, I would say go look on your birth chart. Where is your Aries energy? Where does that energy sit on your chart? What house does it rule over? What planets are in that Aries house? I would definitely check on that and then focus, do a little research on those planets, and then focus your energy on those things. That could definitely help you. Maybe call that Aries energy out, right? Maybe give you more confidence to focus on yourself. The Five of Cups is one of my least favorite tarot cards. I don't even really like to touch it. Okay, so Ten of Cups, when you read tarot, really when you wake up, you realize that everything has energy. Like the table has energy, this box has energy, right? This rock has energy. My cup has energy. I have energy. The cards have energy. You have energy. The collective has energy. I read energy. That's how I do all of this, right? When you read tarot, you feel certain things with certain cards, regardless of what's coming out in the reading. Certain cards will just kind of have an impact, I guess, on you, right? And Five of Cups is probably going to be that card for me. Five of Cups, I don't really even like to touch the card. I don't like dealing with Three of Swords either, but Five of Cups is tougher for me than Three of Swords. Three of Swords says, yes, there's pain. Yes, there was trauma, but you're healing it. You're washing all that trauma away. Five of Cups is an energy that says there's been a loss. There has been a great loss of some sort, and you're struggling to be able to look up from that loss. You're struggling to be able to see like why you had to experience something so painful. What I'm going to say is that the Two of Cups is always there. The Two of Cups is always in the Five of Cups. It shows you why you had to go through something that was challenging and painful. It shows you what you have left, what was remaining, and really all you need to be able to push forward. Five of Cups definitely does talk about loss and grief. All right, guys, that's going to be the first half. I'm actually going to take a little break. Let me fill up my tea and I will be right back. right, guys, I'm back. My apologies. And yes, guys, please hit the thumbs up button. I told my friend, I said, I think it's funny. I keep saying I'm gonna refill my tea, but my tea's always full when I take my break. I'm not refilling my tea, y'all. I'm drinking my tea. That's what's happening. There's a lot of talking involved when you read tarot. All right, so I'm going to look at energy that is coming in the future. I'm tired of arguments. Everything was triggering me comes out. It's interesting, the triggering, because I feel like we've been talking about that in the last week. Especially those of you that message me personally. I feel like we've been talking about how we're able to see those triggers now. It doesn't mean that the triggers aren't happening, but we're able to see them and we're able to respond instead of react, right? And it doesn't mean that we're responding instead of reacting every single time, but at least it's better, right? All right, now I'm gonna look at, so normally this is the card we look at, how others are impacting the situation. And remember, the situation where Divine Feminine is feeling a little selfish because you're putting all your energy back into yourself. You're stopping the people pleasing even when it comes to counterpart energy. So when we did the masculine energy, I did, this is how the feminine was impacting. So now we're going to do, this is how Divine Masculine is impacting the situation. Love is patient and understanding. I am patient and understanding. Walking on eggshells is not how I want to live each day. Comes out. The word patient is definitely sticking out, but the walking on eggshells is the part most likely on how Divine Masculine is impacting the situation. So really, it could go both ways. Divine Feminine, you could feel like you're walking on eggshells when it comes to Divine Masculine, and Divine Masculine could feel like they're walking on eggshells when it comes to Divine Feminine. All right, now I'm going to see how you're impacting the situation. So how are you, Divine Feminine, impacting the situation? I can't stop crying and I don't know what I need to do next. That is so messed up, because when I did my practice run, that was my card. And it's interesting because I cry a lot, y'all. I cry a lot. It's weird because when I, before awakening, like before Jesus and all of that, I was, and I shouldn't make those jokes, before Christ consciousness, I definitely did not cry. And I didn't cry in front of people. No one ever saw me cry. I was just bad, tough bitch, and that's the way it was all the time, right? And then I had my awakening, and now I cry in gas stations, right? So, yeah, it's super weird. At first, it was Dark Night of the Soul that caused me to cry everywhere I went. And then it was heart chakra awakening activation, whatever you want to call it, that caused me to cry everywhere I went. And now I've had Kundalini activation. Kundalini activation is like where all the chakras open and begin the alignment process. I think it's funny because people think that when you experience Kundalini, then, oh, you're magical and you're enlightened and you have all the answers. No, that's just the beginning. And it's like a whole lifelong process, right? So for those of you that don't know what Kundalini is, if you're anywhere in this spiritual journey, I would definitely do some research there because it's just part of this process, right? But what happens is you become more sensitive. You become more vulnerable. You become more kind. You become more feminine. You become more gentle, sincere, all of these things, right? And so things impact you in ways that they never impacted you before. For those, here's a perfect example. Remember when, for those of you that have children, remember when you were pregnant and you would watch a TV commercial and there'd be like a little child on the commercial that, I don't know, fell off their bike, and then suddenly you were like broken down tears, but it was like a TV commercial. You remember that? Like it's that type of energy. Like that's what happens. It's like everything is so emotional. Everything, you feel everything in such a different way, right? It's so intense. I do feel that the more we align, the more we balance things out, the less those energies or feelings are, the less intense they are. But I do feel that right now, collectively, we are kind of in this overflow of emotion energy. And I also agree with the I don't know what to do next, because this is the first time, I think, for our collective. I started my awakening in 2015, guys, 2015. Now, I didn't know what was happening to me until 2017. By 2018, I was in Dark Night of the Soul. So, what's happening now is completely different than anything I've known in this last 8-9 years. So, I mean, I guess it's not really hard to say that I don't know what to do next. But here's what I do know. I do know that I'm having this spiritual awakening. I do know that there's only one God. Okay, there's only one source, there's only one spirit. It doesn't matter what label you want to put there, but there's just the one. I do know that unconditional love is my purpose. Like, that's why I'm here. That's why God saved me. That's what I have to do now, is share that unconditional love and teach others by example, right? Like, that's the whole purpose to all of this. I get all of that. So because I know that, and because and when I say I know it, I mean like I know it. I feel that I don't really have to know what I'm going to do next. Like, I don't need to know what's going to happen tomorrow. Somebody made a joke today, and they showed me the palms of their hands, and they were like, "Read my fortune, Rosa, read my fortune." I don't read your fortune. I'm not a cookie. I really, honestly, people think tarot is like about reading the future. It's not, guys. Tarot is about like what's happening right now. Tarot is a tool that God has given us to be able to communicate, to give us guidance, right? Like, that's it. That's what's happening. So I don't need to know what's happening next. And I think we need to let that go. The idea that we want to know what's happening tomorrow. And I'll tell you why you want to know what's happening tomorrow. Trauma. Trauma, that's why. If you never experienced any trauma and life had been super happy-go-lucky every single day of your awakening life, then you wouldn't care what's happening tomorrow. But because we've all experienced so much trauma, we're like, oh my God, I need to know. Is there more trauma coming? You see what I'm saying? So here's what I know. Is life hard? Yes. Am I going to experience more challenges in life? Yes. But is God got me? Yes, 110%. I know it without a doubt. So can I stop crying? Yes, the moment that I get a hold of my anxiety and I understand that my faith is now bigger than my anxiety, it definitely helps me stop crying. Do I get emotional and like overfeel things still? Yes, absolutely. But do I need to know what's going to happen next? No, I don't. I don't need to know what's going to happen tomorrow. I don't need to know what's going to happen next month. I'm going to continue my awakening journey with me, God, spirit, source, again, whatever label you have to put there. And I know that He's got my back. I know that every single day I am protected. I am loved unconditionally, and I can do no wrong. Am I perfect? No. But thank God that He loves us unconditionally, right? Does it mean that I get to just be not perfect every single day? No, because God puts His foot in my butt every single day that I don't do the things I'm supposed to do. Right? All right. So hopes and fears. Why does love have to be so complicated? That is your divine feminine, hopes and fears. Your You're fearing that you're leaving a situation, something that you were comfortable with, but exactly wasn't necessarily comfortable or happy, right? It's just something that you knew for so long, for something that you don't know, for adventuring out here, following spirit and following source, and not really knowing what's coming the next day. But it's like you want to have love. You want to have happiness. I could tell you 1,000 times that God wants you to love yourself first before you go try to be in a relationship with anyone else. But who wants to hear that? I don't want to hear that. I don't think anybody wants to be alone. Should we spend times alone, periods alone? Probably, yes, I'm sure. But I mean, I'd be lying to you if I told you that I don't want to be in a relationship, right? Like, I'd be lying to you if I told you that I'm going to go move out in the woods and buy 9 cats. Like, that's never going to happen. It's just, I'm not going to do it, right? I want to be in a loving, kind relationship that doesn't have to be so complicated. And I'm going to tell you right now, that's a soulmate. That's a soulmate. Because there's nothing about a twin flame journey that is not complicated. All right, I'm going to pull the outcome card, and we haven't been looking at them. What we've been doing is turning them upside down and then pulling them out at the end. On the bottom, was this a codependent relationship? Let me look into how my past behaviors demonstrated this. Here's what I'm going to tell you, that there is going to be a part in your twin flame journey where it was codependent. Most likely it's that bubble period, the very beginning, when you're like, oh my God, everything's super wonderful and spiritual and happy and great. And you expect that other person to be your cheerleader, your protector, your everything, right? And then the same goes in return. But here's what I know about this twin flame awakening journey. One of the major lessons that I've learned because of this type of awakening journey that I'm having is codependency. Now, guys, there's other types of spiritual awakening journeys. We talked about the other types of awakening journeys that you can be on. Again, not everyone is a twin. And again, this is just a specific type of spiritual awakening journey, right? So not everyone that has an awakening has to learn about codependency. But if you're on a twin flame journey, I promise you that you're learning about codependency every single stinking day, right? All right, so let's clarify. I'm going to move through the second half a lot quicker because this has been a long reading. We're at 50 minutes. All right, I'm tired of the arguments. Everything was triggering me. This is future energies. This could be what the conversation is about. I think it's that I'm tired of the arguments. The triggers is about being able to respond to triggers and see them ahead of time. The 8 of Pentacles comes out. I love that because that's the card that says get to work. You're almost there. It talks about focus and dedication. Focus. You see it now, right? You're dedicated to healing. You're not going to allow these triggers to cause you to react anymore. 10 of Swords. You're dedicated to bringing something that's been painful to a completion. And Ace of Pentacles is here so that you can have a new beginning. It's also possible that the cards are saying you'll refuse any offer that doesn't bring a completion to something painful. All right, how Divine Masculine is impacting the situation. Patient, but walking on eggshells. Ace of Cups, overflow of emotion. It's also about intuition. High Priestess is here. That could be you, Divine Feminine. But it's also the energy of like sitting at the veil, getting all the answers. There's no confusion for this Divine Masculine. And the King of Wands comes out. I feel like this is the type of Divine Masculine. So King of Wands sometimes could be seen as reckless energy. King of Wands is someone who's very confident and courageous. someone who takes passionate action. But sometimes it's like overly confident energy. I think this divine masculine was overly confident about a lot of things for a long time. And I think because of the level or the process of their ascension, or like where they're at in their awakening journey, that could be changing for them. This journey definitely makes you very humble. All right, so how Divine Feminine is impacting the situation. I can't stop crying and I don't know what to do next. I don't necessarily know if you're crying about it, but I think you're probably not sure what to do next. Page of Swords is here, watching but not speaking. Four of Pentacles is here, holding on to something too tightly, and Two of Swords. Divine Feminine, all of these cards are very self-restrictive. Very like no one else is holding you back or held you back before. But there is this energy like not sure if you can do something. Not sure, like, am I going to be able to continue giving to myself, pouring into my own cup, enforcing my boundaries. It's also this energy of not wanting to let something go. Two of Swords could be about moving, going to a different location, and it's like refusal. I feel like you've just drawn your line in the sand. All right, hopes and fears. I do feel like there could be there was a lot of third party energy that came up. So I don't know if like third party is your third party in a twin situation. I don't know if Divine Masculine thinks there's a third party. Maybe you are in a relationship. We did pick up on some soulmate energy. But I do have this feeling like there's this fear that love is always going to be complicated. Love is always going to be painful. Love is always going to be something you can't attain. Remember the Hanged Man? Or I'm sorry, the Hanged Unicorn. All right, why does love have to be so complicated? Two of Cups, big confirmation, soulmate energy, coming together, partnership. Love doesn't have to be complicated when you have two givers. When you have two givers, love is not complicated because both people are giving. Both people have the same goal. Strength comes out, big confirmation, Leo energy, Seven of Wands, protect that. I definitely feel that. I definitely feel like my life has changed. It's like I've drawn my line in the sand. It's like I've chosen something. And what I've chosen is soulmate energy, is two givers, two people that equally work together, right? Seven of Wands is definitely about protecting something, keeping a boundary, enforcing. Bottom is the Empress, big confirmation. The Empress is a lot of times is seen as divine feminine energy. Wow, look at the outcome. Is this twin flame journey just something in my head? All right, so here's what I'm going to tell you. One, we question ourselves with self-doubt all the time. So here's the easiest way. Somebody said this to me once. If this was just something in, for example, Renee's head. Hi, Renee. Then, or if this was just something in my head, then this would just be something in Renee's too. Or this would just be something in Diana's. Or this would just be something in Amanda's too. Or Michelle's. Or Marcel's. Or Sandra's. Or Jenna's. Or I could keep going. Leak Spice. You see what I'm saying? So it's like, what is the odds that collectively, the many thousands of us, right? What are the odds that we would all be wrong? Like you see what I'm trying to say? Like if I'm wrong, then she's wrong, and he's wrong, and they're wrong. You see what I'm saying? There's two many of us. And if you've done your research in me, again, twin flame is just a label. It just means that in this generation, somebody came up with the words twin flame and put it on this type of awakening and was like, ooh, that sounds cool. Let's call it that, right? I think in the 70s, it was like called Ray of Light. I don't know. It was something really weird. And then, there's Woodstock days. My point is, like, you could go all the way back to, like, the pyramid days, and there was twin flames. They just called something else. But it has always been a spiritual awakening. It has always been a type of spiritual awakening. And that's it. Nothing more, nothing less. Unfortunately, because we live in 2024, and we make movies and we live stream, and we have all this technology, and we want everything to be easy, cheesy, and at our fingertips, and we want to make fairy tales out of things that were never meant to be fairy tales. And that's actually not true, guys. The more I go through my awakening process, the more this journey is a fairy tale, but not in the way that we were told, right? The fairy tale is that I get to learn to love me. The fairy tale is that I get to learn that I'm badass, I'm worthy. I get to have confidence in myself. I get to walk with my head held high. I get to manifest the life that I want, right? I get to have this beautiful, everlasting, permanent, I don't even know, there's not a good enough word, relationship with God, with Source, every single waking moment of my life. So, I guess in a way, it's much more than a fairy tale, right? All right, Ten of Wands comes out. I love that. Ten of Wands always gives me that, it's like guys, all religions are about love, okay? And there's a little bit wrong with every religion, and there's a little bit right with every religion, right? So it doesn't matter, right? It's just one God. But there's this part in the Bible where it talks about putting your burdens down at God's feet, right? You guys, you know what I'm talking about? So Ten of Wands is about putting your burdens down. And it always makes me think of that Bible phrase, like it's time to put them down. Let God... That's it. Just let God. Nine of Pentacles comes out. Nine of Pentacles is about independence, confidence, understanding that you've done everything you needed to do, is the energy that I'm getting. And Six of Pentacles is here. Six of Pentacles is about getting help, getting assistance. It's also this energy too, where it's like, because you let go and let God, you're going to be able to teach other people how to do that. And that's the whole point of this journey. Anyone who has had a spiritual awakening, I always say it like this. It's because something has happened to, and I know I'm just using words here, and some of you may not like the labels that I use, but again, remember, they're just labels. But it's like something happened to break you. You were a certain way, and something came along and broke who you were, or what you were, or what you thought you were, right? And then you become who you were really meant to be. And then when that happens, the only way that happens is God enters your life, right? That's the only way it happens. So now God has saved you from whatever he saved you from. Now you're going to help other people. You see what I'm saying? That are going through whatever it is you just went through themselves. And you're going to show them how God helped you, right? On the bottom is Nine of Wands. Nine of Wands talks more about protecting what is yours. All right, guys, let's pull a guidance card from the Divine Feminine Oracle. These are going to be affirmations. Affirmations are things that you can say over and over. There was this one. I can't even remember it now, but I used to say it, oh my gosh, all the time, probably 1,000 times a day. I am whole and complete. You guys remember that? I am whole and complete. It took me a long time to realize that the masculine and feminine energy was within myself, right? That's usually the hardest part when you have someone who's awakened you. And it's like, it's I had to keep saying these affirmations, this thing over and over and over. And they tell you to say it until you believe it. Sometimes that was 100 times. Sometimes that was on a bad day, maybe 1,000 times before I believed it. You know what I mean? But does it work? Yes. Yes, it does. All right. I can't ever pronounce any of these words, so bear with me. All right, the first one, the presence of the divine feminine. At the center of everything, there is light, and I am light. Oh my gosh, I'm gonna cry. There's that card. That's it. Like, that's really all we need to say, because that's who we are, divine feminine. That's what we're doing, and we are God's light. We're supposed to be shining our light, right? That's what we do. So again, at the center of everything, there is light, and I am that light. We also have the warrior saint. I am a warrior of love. My devotion attracts resources and support. I want to read that again because that's really important for us divine feminines. I am a warrior of love. My devotion attracts resources and support. It's like ever since I laid my burdens down at God's feet and I realized that God is the Almighty, like God is the one that's leading me through my spiritual awakening journey, I've not needed anyone else. Literally, like not needed anyone else's help. I have God's help, and that's literally it. I don't need anyone else to do anything else. Joan of Arc comes out, the warrior of light. I have a steel-like faith in myself. The angels armor me with conviction. And the last one, because we talked about Jesus, Mary of Nazareth, the mother of God. I am blessed. My courage gives birth to the divine. I freaking love it. Spirit loves me, y'all. That's it, guys. That's going to be your Divine Feminine Celtic Cross, Divine Feminine messages to Divine Masculine. I hope they were helpful. I am going to clean up, guys, and I am going to offer a few readings here at the end. So give me just a moment to get everything picked up, and I will be right back. That was a lengthy collective. I know, right? All right, so I have closed the list, guys. So we have Lee Spice, Diana, Michelle, Sherry, Sandra, and Amanda would like talking to heaven, and Renee. I was reading the comments, Jenna. I seen where you were talking about having the 2 ACs. And it's 83 in there. And Michelle, I did message Diana this morning when we talked about the fires in California. And Amanda has bad signal. That's so weird, Amanda. My candle went out right when I said that. Did you guys see that? All right. Are we doing messages? I'll pull one message and one affirmation for each person. Ready? One message, one affirmation. Lee Spice, say hi to me in the comments. Lee Spice, say hi to me in the comments. All right, that's Lee's. I know, right? It happens every time. All right, Diana, one message, one affirmation. Please be patient and understanding. I'll be back, I promise. Interesting. I got like timeout, Diana, timeout. The saint of spoken words. Every word I say becomes a prayer. I'm the author of my own story. I'm almost getting, Diana, like you, and I'm talking to Diana. I know. Here's Lee's over here. But Diana, I'm almost getting like you change something by speaking it into existence. It's the part that says, I'm the author of my own story. It's like something was happening in your journey and you didn't like it. And you were like, no, that's not going to be the way it's going to be. It's going to be this way instead. All right. Hope that was helpful. All right. Lee Spice. Are you there? Are you ready, Lee? Hi, hi, hi. All right. Messages. All right. Ready? I'm starting to understand this twin flame journey with you. And the goddess of all that flows. I'm an ocean of creative energy. I give birth to what exists within me. How interesting. The goddess of all that flows. Lee Spice, I hope that was helpful. All right, Michelle. Michelle, you are up. One message, one affirmation. Triggers are real. Don't ignore them. Michelle. The red goddess Lolita. Playfulness is a spiritual power. Laughter leads me back to the light. Laughter leads me back to the light. Laughter leads me back to the light. All right. Who's next? Sherry. Sherry, say hi to me in the comments. Oh, thank you, Michelle. Sherry, say hi to me in the comments. Let me know you're still here. And I don't know why that is, guys. Like, I don't make the rules. Sweet. Thank you, Sherry. Seen it. Are you being passive aggressive or trying to seek revenge? Are you being passive aggressive or trying to seek revenge? This person thinks that you may come at them in a passive aggressive way, or they feel that you may try to seek revenge for something they feel they've done to you. All right, here's your affirmation. The mother of believers, I am spiritually and financially abundant. I provide heaven and earth for myself. Sherry, this one is huge. Are you ready? The mother of believers. So you have to believe it when you say it. And this is going to be a big card for you. It's like a big confirmation for you so that you'll do it, right? I am spiritually and financially abundant. I provide heaven and earth for myself. All right. Hope that was helpful. Sweet. Thank you, Diana. Sandra is next. Hi, Sandra. Sandra gifted me the Divine Feminine Oracle. All right, one message. This twin flame journey is teaching me to love myself, and I'm actually doing it. Love it. And it's a Diana card. Can you see it? It says Diana on the card, like for real. Can you see it? Can you see it? The Queen of the Wilderness. The language of the natural world is a frequency of love. This is my mother tongue. The language of the natural world is frequency of love. This is my mother tongue. How do you feel when you're outside, Sandra? How do you feel when you're outside? Something's happening to you, right? Like when you're in nature, when you're outside. Maybe that's why you're cutting the grass all the time, huh? But there's something about you spending time in nature that is healing for you. All right. And Amanda is after Sandra. She's going to want the talking to heaven. Let me know if I'm wrong. I want to say I read it. All right. So Sandra is here for Amanda. It's just in case Amanda's internet is not working. So it totally works out anyway. Everybody's like, why does she get special treatment? Because she does. All right, here we go. Ooh, you are never alone. I want to say she got that card the other day. No, who got that card? Somebody else did the talking to heaven. Who was it? Was it Mallory? I think it was Mallory, my friend Mallory. But it came out just the other day that you're never alone, and I'm here helping you on the bottom. All right. Here's the you are never alone. I'm here with you now. I'm standing right beside you. Heaven isn't up in the sky. It's another dimension and frequency level, parallel with the earthly physical plane. Every moment of every day, you are accompanied by powerful and loving guardian angels who watch over you from their dimension. They interact with your physical experience to help you bring divine spirit into the earth plane. Without spirit, the physical world would wither, because spirit is the life force energy of everything and everyone. The angels and guides, including me, who accompany you, are heavenly entourage of loving supporters. You, like everyone, have access to heaven's help by acknowledging and attuning to the higher dimension. Meditation, music, nature walks, creativity, and other gentle actions help you connect with us consciously. We are here. We are with you. I'm here helping you. I'm not even going to read that one because the message was definitely you are never alone. I mean, everyone's there helping you. But the point is, if you want to know, Amanda, how can you get a more direct message from them? I don't know why I closed that. Rosa. You have to do these things. You have to meditate, listen to music, go on nature walks, be creative, and other gentle actions will help you connect, right? All right. I hope that was helpful. was Mallory. I'm pretty sure it was, yeah. But I mean, there's a lot of cards for that card to come back out, right? All right, was that it? Was there anyone else? I don't want to miss anybody. I know we made a little list. I just want to make sure if you're cutting in and out, though. All right, Amanda, you can go back and watch it if you need to. I hope it helps. Let's see, where was I? Renee. She's like, I'm here. All right, let's do a quick message and a divine feminine affirmation. So, quick message from counterpart energy, and then a divine feminine affirmation. I want to block my twin flame phone number, but what if they call? Ooh, somebody's waiting for you to call, Renee. Don't do it. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding. All right, here we go. 2 come out. Joan of Arc. I have a steel-like faith in myself. The angels armor me with conviction. That's fact. And Our Lady of the Interior Life. I trust the answers I find within me. I know that the presence of love is real. I trust the answers I find within me. I know that the presence of love is real. That's going to be something about your divine masculine internally, right? This card, the Joan of Arc card, I have a steel-like faith in myself. The angels armor me with conviction. It's like if you were questioning the no contact, whatever it is that you're doing, whatever boundary you're doing to enforce yourself, it's like, don't question it, like you're doing the right thing. And it's the internal love. I trust the answers I find within me. I know that the presence of love is real. All right, I'm going to leave it right there. I hope that was helpful. All right, guys, that's it. Yes, guys, please join us on Sunday night. If you got a reading from me, guys, please hit that thumbs up button. Energy exchange, guys, super important. But yes, hit the thumbs up button for me. Come back, join me Sunday night. Sunday night, we're going to do love and astrology, and then we will talk about whatever cosmic influence we're going to talk about. And I will offer some more in-depth free readings, free and paid mini readings at the end of that live. And we will do a collective divine feminine and divine masculine reading on Sunday night as well. So yes, please come back and join us for that. All right, guys, thank you so much for coming in, hanging out with me. I appreciate all of you so very much. My moderators, thank you, ladies, for coming in and helping with lists. Thank you. All right, guys, I will see everyone Sunday night. Have a great weekend. Thank you, Sherry. Guys, I'm always sending all of you abundant love and light on your journey. Thank you.